Oh my goodness. What did we do, Judah?
We made $1,000.
I didn't hit record. Why do I not record the garage sales that go so well? Holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, hello and welcome back to Mod and Pop Thrift. My name is Tom. I'm a full-time eBay reseller and I'm a stay-at-home dad for my 6 children. And I just did this whole video and then clicked record. So we're going to do it again. Thomas the Train, 2004 puzzle. I would not have picked this up if it wasn't sealed. I yammered on forever, so maybe I saved you. This line here, you can see there's a line straight up and down there in the plastic. Same over here. And then across here. That's called an H seam. It doesn't matter on this puzzle. But if you're finding old video games or VHS tapes and they have that H seam, it is very hard to duplicate without like really expensive machinery. So that's more indicative of a factory seal on old collectible things. This is not that. This is, I paid $1 for a sealed puzzle. Some grandma bought it for her grandson's birthday in Florida. It's going there. Paid $1 a piece for the stuff left in somebody's eBay store when they retired. This was in there. I thought about cutting the batteries out before I listed this. I elected not to. I don't think it would have mattered either way. Obviously, it did sell. Bell & Howell is not a good brand of almost anything. Some of their really old stuff can do okay, but that is not a desirable brand at all. But the film expired in 2000, so this thing's probably from the mid-90s. And it's still mint on the card, kind of, except for the battery issue. And so that's neat. You know that it's probably in as good a working condition as it was when it was made. Sold for, I paid $1 for it, sold for $15.50 plus shipping. This record, I wonder, I guess my audience is as old as I am or older, but I suspect there aren't a lot of people out there who are super familiar with Red Skelton, comedian. This recording was made in 1969, and this was a Burger King giveaway, and this spins at 33 1/3 revolutions per minute, even though as a 7-inch record you would think it would spin at 45. Anyway, I got given a pile of 45s to see if I could do anything with. There were a handful of them that were worth listing at $9.99 free shipping, which worth listing is a relative term at $9.99 free shipping. So those 3 things, I had $2 in total. Today we only have 5 listings, 5 orders to fill 6 listings for $184. One other thing. You guys saw me pick this up. This is an 1/18 scale. And when I bought it, I went back and looked at the footage. That was on there. When I got it home, it was not. And I don't know where it is. I put this straight into an IKEA bag. It is not in the IKEA bag. I don't know where it ended up. But this is a neat, these heavier die cast, I have never done any good with the NASCAR ones, but I do okay with the other weird old cars ones. This is Masto, which is a decent brand for these things. And they as long as they're intricate, mostly metal, like this is plastic, but like most of it's metal. These will do okay. Just don't pay a lot for them. I paid $5, and then when I realized that it was missing a part that it should have had, I listed it for $11 plus shipping. So, I mean, I'm not making a fortune, and had this been on there, I'd have probably listed it for $18 plus shipping, which would make more sense to buy it for $5, but I lost a piece and still managed to sell it. Now, the rest of what we bought was birds And they sold so quick, I almost wish that I had picked up the ones that weren't signed. But who knows if the weren't signed ones would have done any good. This one is signed Ram 93. No signature on the bottom of the wood. Just a neat little bird carving. I think they carved it out and then wood burnt the brown parts onto it. It's a neat little thing. I paid $5 for 3 of these birds, and I paid $6 for 3, which would be $18, and then $4 for the other one, which would put me in at $22. For this guy sold independently, listed him for $55, took a best offer of $45 because the guy sent me best offers on both of these listings. And so then the other listing was these 3 birds, and they were listed for like 60 something free shipping or plus shipping. These were the plus shipping ones. They were like maybe 55 plus shipping, and he sent me an offer on both of them at the same time and asked me to ship them together. So that works out really well. These are all signed by the same guy, Roy R. Reed. There was one listing that said Roy R. Reed, and it was listed fairly high. There were no solds in Terapeak, nothing I could find on Google on Roy R. Reed. These are called, all of these, that dude back there and these are called shorebirds. Evidently birds that you would find by the ocean, I'm assuming. And so the 3 sold as a lot to the same guy, and he was one of those guys who said, hey, if you get more shorebirds, remember me. I will buy more shorebirds from you. So, and I may well, because I do see these kind of things from time to time, but I don't know if the unsigned ones do any good. And these, I mean, a big enough box and a handful of bubble wrap, and these aren't going to get messed up in shipping. Make sure all the eyes are there, because the eyes do fall out. But if I hadn't sold these shorebirds today, I'd have had a real crappy day. I did go out for like an hour and a half and try to do some yard sailing, and I hit like 9 yard sales, and it was just footage of bust after bust after bust, and it just wasn't anything worth seeing. And then the very last one sale, I got a DVD VCR combo for $5, and it ended up not working. Of course, they're like, oh yeah, it works for sure. And you take it. I wouldn't have. I'm buying it, mitigating my risk. Knowing that, well, I'm only out $5 if it doesn't work, but I am up way a lot if I'm gambling on whether or not it works. And so that didn't work out. I bought a Nelson, what I thought was a Nelson sprinkler, turned out to not be a Nelson sprinkler. I just didn't look at it close enough. I was like, ooh, that's a Nelson sprinkler. And I pulled it down. Oh, it's only $1. And I took it and bought it. And then I'm like, I got it back to the car and I was like, that's marked Better Homes and Gardens. It probably was made by Nelson, but it's not a collectible because it doesn't say L.R. Nelson on it. And then I bought these 4 hats, and they were $2 a piece. And so I'm $8 into those hats. And that's a pretty good haul for 4 hats. Here's the listings of them. So I'll make up, I spent $13, I think. 5, 6, and then 8. Yeah. So $14. $14 all day. I would have spent $14 on those hats, but so I'm not like hurting out money on the $6 that I wasted. But it just wasn't a good day in sales. It wasn't a good day in going to yard sales. And so I'm going to get this stuff shipped and stop whining, and then we're going to attack the death pile with vigor. I've been out here for a little while, and I been working through the death pile some, getting old stuff that's been sitting around a while listed around my desk. Like this lamp, I just listed it. You ever list a floor lamp on eBay? It's kind of a weird thing, but we had 2 sales and I went ahead and printed the labels for them. Let's pull them. The first one is the end of the, well, not the end of the laser discs. I just lotted all of these laser discs together and figured somebody'd be excited to get them cheap. Jackal Bad Boys. None of these are worth money. None of them are worth listing individually. I would have thought Bad Boys might have been The Rock, Stallone, and Schwarzenegger. Part of what happened with these was the guy sent me a picture with like 100 in the picture, and I was like, yeah, bring them over. We can make a deal. Should be able to spend, you know, this much money. I don't even remember what it was now. And he came over and he had 60, and I was like, that's not 100. You cherry picked me, and I'll still pay this for them, but you cherry picked the good ones. I'm gonna have to really work to make money on those, and so I got them at a good price. But there are good ones of laser discs, but even the best laser discs are not real good. And the other one's this crew neck sweatshirt. I don't know that it's vintage. It's men's XL. Maybe, yeah, it's just an XL, 2014. I was at a yard sale and they had $5 Harley t-shirts, and I grabbed a few of those, and she's like, well, I need 7 for the sweatshirt. And I was like, that's going to sell a lot better than a t-shirt. So for $7, and it sold for $21 plus $6 shipping. So that's going to be the end of this video for this minute. Let's go to me tomorrow hitting yard sales and finding good stuff. Let's do that. So see you tomorrow morning. Oh my goodness. What did you do, Judah?
We made $1,000.
I didn't hit record. Why do I not record the garage sales that go so well? Holy cow.
Here, I'm just going to put this thing together.
Judah's going to be real careful with this $10 item that we just bought. It may not be totally obvious what it is yet, but in just a second it will.
3,
Obviously,
2,
1, boom. In a land where I was born, lived a man who sold me a lava lamp for $10. And we all live in a yellow submarine. And all of those shirts, a bunch of those are Beatles shirts, a couple of them are Jimi Hendrix, old liquid blue tags. Holy cow. And then a Shure microphone. Sure, you can see it back there. And Judah was just kind of like looking at stuff, and I was like, hey, we're gonna go around and go get some money, because all I was doing was picking him up from a sleepover. And I was like, well, let's hit this yard sale on the way. And the signs were messed up, so we had a hard time finding it. We ended up going back to the original sign and typing in the address because his signs were pointing the wrong way. So I think no one has hit his yard sale yet, because A, all the good stuff was still there, and B, his signs were pointing the wrong direction because they were like in with one pin and spun the wrong direction. One of them was pointing straight up in the air. Like, just the one off the top is Meet the Beatles vintage. That's not single stitch. I don't think it's that kind of vintage. But there's a liquid blue shirt I've never seen before. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. Lots of great stuff. The shirts were $1 a piece, and I ended up at like $44 or something. And we showed up. They're gonna need lint rolled. Holy cow! I noticed that on my pants, some kind of like white cat hair. We're gonna have to lint roll the crap out of them and wash them probably, but at $1 a piece. Holy cow! We'll go through them in a minute, but I wanted you guys to say, Judah's like, was it really that good? And I was like, look, I'm shaking while I was driving to the ATM, and he's like, okay. So I freaked out a lot, but I was cool at the yard sale. Like, Judah didn't know I was freaking out. I kept my cool at the yard sale, but then I got in the van and I scared him. I'm like, oh my God. So, yeah, he's my good luck charm. You should come yard sailing with me more often. He's too old to hang out with Dad in yard sale. He's got to go do his own stuff. Okay, so we are back home several hours later. I made this video that I can't put the sound on because it says Sings Yellow Submarine. Not the lava lamp itself, but the video that I made to post to Facebook and eBay. I put the video. I hope it shows up on eBay with the yellow submarine on it. If it doesn't, I'll have to repost it. Anyway, that's a really cool. We paid $10 for that, and I listed it for $199 free shipping. And then I paid $20 for this microphone, and I don't remember where I listed it, but well north of $100. And it's got pretty good sell-through rate. Shure is a really good brand, and then this kind of iconic looking microphone is are generally really good. So if that was vintage, it'd be worth even more. But knowing that it's basically new in the package, I was excited to get it for $20 because it's going to sell real high, real fast. Yeah, it smells like smoke real bad outside. But the cream of the crop was the shirts. So let's get into looking at what shirts I got. Go.
This is the first shirt out of many. It's the Beatles on a Gildan tag. 1996 Beatles.
Cool.
It is not single stitch.
A lot of these are not single stitch, and that has a hit on the back too. Just has that little Beatles hit on the back. Cool. Another Beatles. I can't decide if that's dirty or if, because that anthology cover
looks like bricks, kind of.
Right, and so I don't know how much of that is stains and how much of it is. But anthology came out in '99, so I'm sure that, or 98 or 99. I'm sure that's when
it
that's
says
from.
95 on it.
95, okay. And that's
Yeah,
on
and this is
Oneida.
the Oneida tag. And
Nothing. And that one has the anthology one on the back. Cool.
Shirt.
Next shirt.
Is
Just a big Fender Phoenix on a Fender tag, right?
yeah.
And that one is that old late 80s, early 90s. No, that's an early 90s jerseys. Gibson on the front and vintage Gibson on the back. I know that one says 1996 on it. I read it. That's a really cool shirt. And these were all $1 a piece, which is just bananas. But then, so let me tell you the story real quick. I had $5 in cash in my pocket when we showed up because I wasn't even planning on going to yard sales. Show up, and I gave the guy the $5. We came to like 44, 45 on everything, and so I did the dash for cash, but I gave him the $5 that I had in my wallet. I'm like, I'm gonna come back. Let me give you $5 so you're not completely out holding this stuff, but I'll be back in 5 minutes and I'll pay the rest for everything else. I hand him a $50 bill. I was like, I'm not worried about the change. And he's like, do you want your $5 back? And I was like, well, I just said I'm not worried about the change, and I blew it off. I was like, no, it's not a big deal. I'm getting a good enough deal on these shirts, which is true. But I had at this point completely forgotten that I gave him $5 to hold the stuff, like as a down payment. And so I ended up paying $55 for what was $45 worth of stuff, but it's definitely way better than $45 worth of stuff.
Is the next shirt?
Do you even know what that is?
No, it's guitars.
Paul Reed Smith, PRS
It's a
guitars.
Double X.
Okay, so this is a good one. I mean, it's not a great shirt, but it's cool.
Yeah.
What do we have here, Judah?
It's just a bunch of different sharks.
You can absolutely tell me which kinds is what sharks, right?
Yeah.
The viewers are all going to look like the same shark. Just name... Here, wait. Okay, so then this is my kid who loves sharks. What is that one?
Wait. I think that's a short fin mako shark.
What is this?
That's a hammerhead.
What's that?
Great white.
What is this?
A bull shark.
What's that?
That's also a short fin mako shark.
What's this?
I don't know.
You don't know that one?
Yeah.
This one looks like a great white to me.
It's not.
It's not. What is it?
I think that's a white tip reef shark.
Yeah. Okay. So I got this shirt because Judah likes sharks, and I'm wearing a shark shirt. I like shark shirts.
All right.
What is that?
This is an Alice Cooper Dirty Diamonds shirt.
Okay. What?
It's the tour shirt from 2005.
So that's pretty good shirt. Mesa Boogie. I have never played on Mesa equipment, but that's a cool shirt. Somebody's going to be excited about that. Mesa makes guitar amplifiers. And that's
Yeah.
just the vintage
This.
90s Dragon. And that's just the vintage 90s Dragon. And they're both on like generic tags. Like this one's Sonoma from like Kohl's, and that one doesn't have the tag in it anymore, but it's probably the same deal. Those are neat, and they're probably worth $15 plus shipping as opposed to some of these other ones. But I was on a roll just grabbing shirts and excited. Big Dog, that one needs oxyed really bad. I didn't notice that. Look how
it has
yellow the neck is.
Around here.
But I always do well selling, reasonably well selling. And that one has a date on it. I think it's 96 or 97 on the bottom under the word daddy there. 1999. Liquid Blue is a fantastic brand, but this one that's got the new, like a printed tag, so it's not vintage. But Liquid Blue still can do really well. And it's Halloween.
AOP, but
yeah. It's not AOP, but it is a little AOP. It's all over the front print.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got.
This is Beatles.
Beatles. It's a picture. It's got some stains on it, which I didn't notice before. And I don't think it has any copyright anything on it. So maybe it's bootleg. I don't know. It's a nice enough shirt. This is one of my favorite ones. Abbey Road, 25 years. Front and back, very cool shirt. 1994.
Button-up shirt.
I would call that a bowling shirt. Tell me in the comments if you think you'd call that something else. But it's kind of that lounge shirt. What's it say? Paradise Collection?
Paradise Collection. Yes.
Okay. I've never heard of that. I just thought it was really cool.
We have
this Beatles, which is modern, but it's a good shirt.
But it's a nice looking shirt.
For $1. Marvin the Martian. This one I thought was older because it's got the hang tag on it.
Yeah.
But the hang tag says like S09 or something on the backside.
Yeah.
And so it's from 2009. It's not vintage-ish. It's vintage light. Vintage adjacent.
This is a Paul Reed Smith Guitars shirt.
And it's on a Paul Reed Smith tag, but it has the website on it. I think this is probably early 2000s. Just a pretty simple shirt. But again, that one's way too big for you. That's probably a 2X or a 3X. Mm-hmm. This guy collected shirts. Go ahead and open that up. Yeah. And he had a stroke and lost a bunch of weight. So he wasn't able to wear these bigger ones. Yeah. So he got rid of all his big, fancy vintage shirts for $1 a piece. And that one's not vintage. Let's see if it has a date on the tag.
Probably not. Oh, 2012.
Yeah, so it's not new, but it isn't vintage.
This just looks like something big.
That one is fantastic. It's the Anthology. That all sports tag is normally indicative of something that's good. I was trying to zoom in and you were trying to move in. All sports tag is normally good because they don't make that brand anymore.
And then on the back it has the
Anthology too.
Yep.
That's fantastic. That's a good one. This one is real good. It's 2000. I think this one's 2012 or 2011 too. I had a hard time finding a date on it, but I did.
It's probably under.
I think it's down in the print down here. Anyway, show the
right here.
It's hard and it's hard to read.
2009 Liquid Blue.
2XL Jimmy for the people. Such a cool shirt.
Here.
This one's a little ragged. This one I might keep because I really like it. I like the way that it's tie-dyed, and it's probably not worth a lot because it's a little bit busted.
And
like the
collar.
The collar is chewed up. It's what they'd call thrashed. What the kids call thrashed.
The back.
The big Beatles back hit. That's a cool shirt, and that one will fit me. And so that one may not be for sale, but here's a comp.
All right. Here it is.
That is just a skeleton. There is no copyright. There's no date, but it does have the Anvil Blue Bar tag on it, which tells me that it's late 90s. That Anvil Blue Bar tag is late 90s, maybe early 2000s. But it's a cool shirt. It's not worth a fortune, but I'm not sad that I picked it up for $1. This one I don't know anything about, but it's got a nice tag. It's got a really cool print. vampire beer. I think it says right here like 96, 92.
Yeah, 92.
And then it's Bela Lugosi and the Lee tag. That's a good one.
Yep.
I don't know what it's worth, but it's cool, worth picking up for $1. These were $2 a piece.
Yeah, 2 guitar straps.
That one has
piece.
kind of naked lady tattoo art kind of thing on it. And then this one is Santana from the that album that was really big in the late 90s or the early 2000s. Cool guitar straps, not worth a fortune, but definitely worth picking up at $2 a piece.
And then here's another shirt.
Fender. That one is not vintage, but it has the sleeves that make you think that it's vintage. I mean, it's a printed tag, but it doesn't have a date, so it's probably 10 years old. Guitars through the years, and I thought it says G1 as the like brand, but like it's not like, that's a PRS, and that one's like a Godin, and then they've got like Gibsons and Epiphones, and this is probably that's the Tom Petty one, Reckenbacher.
2 M&M shirts.
That one's long sleeves, red. That's a cool shirt. And these M&M shirts that you would get at like the M&M store at like Disney Springs, they're not worth a ton, but they will sell. And for $1 a piece, vintage, surrounded by nuts, and so there's nut M&Ms. This is on a Tennessee River tag, which is a good tag, but the shirt is, while it's cool, it's not related to anything. It's just a cool, weird death metal kind of shirt. The Meet the Beatles. It doesn't, again, that one doesn't have any branding. It doesn't have a tag in it, so I don't know. There's those two. That one that has that cover, and then the other one that has like them jumping, and I don't know what the cover is of that, what album that's the cover of.
This is,
and we're saving the best for last. There's 3 or 4 left after this, and they are super good. This is
another button up,
and it has, I was having a real good time. It's almost like a Hawaiian shirt. I think it's probably rayon, and it's like this warrior repeated, but that KAD does not have a good sell-through rate. Yeah, this is the local like mainstay music place, Flores Music in Peoria and Pekin, but it says ILL. So, and the tag is Port and Company, which it's hard to say how old that is, but it's crackled and stuff. So I don't imagine, it's probably 10 years old, since 1957. Cool shirt. Probably sell it on Marketplace instead of eBay. And then whichever ones are left, all of the ones that are left are amazing. This is probably an $80 shirt. Single dingle, metal tunes. Just unbelievable, that t-shirt.
It's not on a Looney Tunes tag.
No, it's predate. I've never seen that tag before, but it predates that Looney Tunes tag or that Warner Brothers tag. That's probably an $80 shirt.
And then we have this shirt here.
And this is definitely at least $100 shirt. It's the AOP, kind of one of the holy grails of Beatles shirts, front and back, and that's in an XL. There are 3 listed right now, and they're all way over $100. And then there's 2 or 3 solds on Terapeak that are right at $100 for that shirt. A really fun, cool piece. Glad to have it. And then is this the last one?
This is the last shirt.
And this is the most valuable and the most insane. It is
blue.
On that. Even Judah knows. Find that white liquid blue tag, and then open it up. That's the back, and it's just the rib cage, and then on the front
It's a skull.
It's a skull, but it's like pixelated. Show this sleeve, because this sleeve is, I think, is neat. That's the Liquid Blue logo in the same pixelated style. And then it's signed. I don't think that makes much difference, if any at all.
Where is it?
In the like bottom of his cheek, it says Chris Pinkerton, 1992.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Pinkerton,
Right here.
who is an artist that worked for Liquid Blue. And what a great piece. I could not believe that. So when I found that one on the rack, I was like, how much are these shirts? And he's like, about $1 a piece. And I was like, and then I saw that there was a tag on the ground that said shirts on this rack $1 a piece. And I'm like, holy cow. And so we had trouble finding. Did I already say that on the video?
You said it in the car.
Right. We had trouble finding the place because the signs were messed up. So I think nobody had found it yet.
Into the sky.
Right. And so once we found it, I think we were the first people there, and I found that shirt and I'm like, okay, we're going to have to play this different than I anticipated, because holy cow. Yeah. So we got lots of good clothes. I got my good luck charm with me.
Hi.
Sign off for us. What do we tell them to do?
Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be updated for new content. See you later.